It's loud in here and I'm not feeling it. People too close and I might have had too much to drink, so we step outside to breathe. Well, it's been a night, it's been a while since I felt this high. People throw their arms around me and dance out of sight, but something's burning and I can't get it off my mind, so you sit beside me. Well, as it burns slow, like the end of your cigarette, and I hope that you don't reach the end too fast, 'cause I don't wanna leave yet. No, I don't wanna let go, so you light up again. So I watch the smoke swirl around your little finger. I feel so close, like you're the only one who knows. And it's probably the liquor, but it doesn't matter, 'cause the stars collided, the world turned over a billion times. Just sit us side by side, just to move ocean tides. And you ask me questions and I whisper the answers and pass the lighter as it burns slow, like the end of your cigarette. And I hope that you don't reach the end too fast, 'cause I don't wanna leave yet. No, I don't wanna let go. No, no, 'cause we're nothing more than just two friends in a bar. Tomorrow we'll get on with life, play our cards, don't often feel like I'm where I'm meant to be. But baby, you got me seeing stars that burn slow, like the end of your cigarette. And I hope that you don't reach the end, 'cause I don't wanna let go. No, no, as it burns slow, like the end of your cigarette. And I hope that you don't reach the end too fast, 'cause I don't wanna leave yet. No, I don't wanna let go, so you light up again.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. First of all, for this episode, we're going to thank our sponsor, KGC, Korean Red Ginseng. They are awesome. All right, now welcome to the show, BERLYN, aka Sophia. We're so glad to have you on. First of all, tell us about this song we just heard.
So thanks for having me, first off. So this song you just heard is called Slow Burn. I actually wrote it during last lockdown when I was still in Newcastle, and it's literally a song just about missing the pub. More like, probably, let's be real, more so about missing my friends and just having a conversation with someone you are an acquaintance with, and it's just that special moment sort of, but
Just missing that vibe.
It's just missing the pub.
Yeah.
It's actually written in a smoker's room, and I don't even smoke.
Wow.
But, you know,
okay.
lockdown gets you
That's
thinking
cool.
some weird things.
That makes perfect sense. So how long did it take you to write that?
That one took a little bit. I wrote like the majority of the song, but I think I had this vision for it and it took a while to get there. But it's the sort of thing where I think I just overanalyzed it for ages and it probably could have taken a bit less time. But I got there in the end, and I don't know. I guess that's just how the creative process is sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So does it usually take you a while to write this stuff?
Kind of different really. Like sometimes it'll all just flow out in one go if I'm in the right mood, or I don't know, I've picked a topic that I'm resonating with at the time or something. And other times, like I have this other song that I've been working on probably for about a year. Same thing, because I'll write this one bit that I love, and then I feel like I have to write the rest of the song to like live up to that bit.
Oh, okay. It's like never good enough.
Yeah, I'm
right.
like, no, that doesn't cut it. Like that's
Yeah.
like this has got to be incredible. But yeah, so it changes. Like
Yeah, fair enough. What would you describe like the genre that you do? Because it sounds a bit of everything. So like a bit of everything's in there.
Yeah. I think it's probably just generally probably like indie pop, indie rock. It kind of depends. I think if I'm playing like with an acoustic guitar, like people will often say, "Oh, you sound like Missy Higgins and stuff," because I sing with an Australian accent. So I guess
you get that a lot.
Yeah, I do. But then as soon as I pick up my electric, it's like, or get in a band, it's like Middle Kids or Angie McMahon or something. So
fair.
Yeah.
Are they your influences as well?
Yeah. I love Angie McMahon stuff and Middle Kids and Shannon James. I've been listening to a bit over the past year, and she's also really cool. But yeah, it changes.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, that makes sense. So how'd you get started, first of all?
Well, I've always sung ever since I was a kid and always loved singing. And, you know, when I was a little kid, I always said, like, I want to be a pop star sort of thing. But I guess I started actually gigging and stuff when I was in my later years of uni, so maybe about like 20. And I guess I just started to meet people when I was living in Newcastle at the time. I worked at a music academy and started meeting musician friends through that, and then opened some doors, got some more confidence, and yeah, it just kind of went from there.
So you sort of like worked your way up sort of gradually.
Yeah, gradually. Yeah, I think I needed some time to write songs that I felt happy enough and proud enough to perform first before I felt confident enough to go out and like do all the gigs and learn all the everything I don't know you need to be able to do and everything. Yeah,
sure. Did you have any hurdles on the way? Obviously, lockdown must have been a bit of a bump in the road for you.
Yeah, lockdown was a bit annoying. But I don't know, it also gave me a lot of time to write and think and come up with other ways to connect with people. Like I did a lot of Zoom things and stuff, which was cool, like writing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I had a few hurdles. Like I tried to record an EP with someone like before I sort of started fully gigging and stuff. It was this weird thing where like I was recording it and then I wasn't like totally happy with my songs at the time, but it was a cool opportunity. So I was like, sweet. And I'd like gotten halfway through the process and I was going to go overseas for a bit. And it was like, oh, this would be a good time to just sit back and like listen to the mixes and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet, I'll come back and we'll talk about it. And I came back and it was just radio silence. Like I heard nothing.
Oh,
and
man.
like I have never heard from them again. And
oh my God.
I mean, I wasn't really happy with the songs anyway, so it was probably a blessing in disguise. I probably shouldn't have released them anyway. But like it was, yeah.
It's got to be a bit weird.
It was so weird, but it also kind of just kickstarted me to be like, right, okay, I'm just going to do this properly. Like I'm just going to actually give this a try and just, you know.
So it kind of like made you more like self-reliant maybe? You
a
had to
little
do
bit.
it yourself.
And just to like actually, because I guess I'd more wanted to start it because he came to me and stuff. And then after that, I was like, right, I'm going to go find someone that I want to produce with and I'm going to just go from there. So it was a necessary step, I guess. But
yeah. Oh, it sounds like it all worked out.
Eventually.
Yeah. So what kind of shows do you do mostly? Are you more into live or what?
Yeah, I love playing live. Like with my band is probably my favorite. But they're all in Newcastle. When I'm going to play like Newcastle shows and stuff, they'll all be there. And I think they're keen to come down for some Sydney shows too, which will be awesome. But yeah, I love playing with a band. I think it's just great playing with people that you connect with and you can create such a great experience between all of you and you vibe with each other. And it's just, this is so much more of a dynamic performance. But then I also like, say, stripping back a song or two in the middle of the set to create that contrast and just really connecting more with the lyrics and slowing it down a bit. So I don't know. Live,
bit
for
of both,
sure.
maybe.
But yeah,
but that makes sense. So, how'd you meet them?
So I was teaching singing at a music academy, and I met Mitch and Adam, my guitarists, and they were also teaching there. So I became friends with them then, and then we started playing together. And then Mitch had a bunch of friends that studied with him at the con, and sort of just grew from there. And yeah,
together ever since.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Pretty much.
Now, your next song, what is that about? Because that's pretty cool. I can't wait to hear it. Can you explain it a bit?
So my next song is called Something to Cry About. This is kind of my song that I guess I wanted to say something with. I feel quite passionately about like environmental issues and how we should be thinking about the planet and our resources and everything. And this was sort of my outlet of frustration. I wrote it around the times of the bushfires was happening and all the climate strikes and everything.
Yeah.
And I really just wanted to be able to say what I was thinking and.
Well, I used to run across a navy sky to see how far the stars would go. But I didn't know then that we could take all that stardust and tear apart the place we call home. Naive and 10 years old, not afraid to be cold. Now naive will get you nowhere, because the naive ones might look so happy with everything, but someone should tell them they're wrong. 'Cause the skies are burning and no one will call it out. And the world keeps on turning around and no one wants to go without. But you'll go without, and the stars are falling now. Watch, but they won't shout. 'Cause oh, and that's life, and we'll cry when there's something to cry about. So tell all the people there's nothing wrong. Just keep spending money on stuff, because as long as they're buying, they won't feel like trying to vote for the little guy who's in his right mind, who's not wrapped around a billionaire's fingertips, far from the firing line, and who might cause a fuss, but we might actually trust, 'cause they might do something in time. Oh, 'cause the skies are burning and no one will call it out. But when the world keeps on turning around and no one wants to go without, but you'll go without, and the stars are falling now. Watch, but they won't shout. 'Cause oh, and that's life, and we'll cry when there's something to cry about. But tell them to change, tell them to open their eyes. They won't change till they've seen the last river dying to stay, but talking in circles. Oh, what's wrong with change? What's wrong with change? So tell us we're dramatic, or shouting in the rain, or shouting in the dust, 'cause there's no rain to shout in and no trees to swing from. They've all turned to dust, and the ocean's made of tears, choking on a world that's fucked. Oh, 'cause the skies are burning and no one will call it out. And the world keeps on turning around and no one wants to go without. But you'll go without, and the stars are falling now. Watch, babe, they won't shout. 'Cause oh, and that's life, and we'll cry when there's something to cry about. We'll tell them their house is a light, and that's something to cry about.
So we just heard Something to Cry About. That is such a good song as well, and the lyrics are really touching. It's really awesome that you wrote that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
What inspired that, apart from obviously the the time, the political climate at the time and everything. Is there anything else that inspired it?
Yeah, I guess with the bushfires happening at the time, I grew up on a farm. So I guess
okay.
yeah, I had a connection with like the environment and everything, and obviously understand the impact that droughts and everything have on, and fires and every natural disaster has on like the agriculture industry and the rural like landscapes. So I guess I was sort of drawing from my childhood and that as well.
Yeah, because it sounds really personal.
Very personal. Yeah. I think I got a bit frustrated, like especially living in the city, but not even just the city. People sort of not, I guess, grasping the significance that all these events have on and will have on everyone's life. And
absolutely.
if you impact the rural industry, like, you're not going to get food and fruit and vegetables and meat and everything. But also just in an environmental sense as well. Like if, more natural disasters and everything, like it's not just something we can sort of all sit around and
Absolutely.
just...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I guess...
Fix everything.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Even just how hot the summer's going to be.
Like, yeah. Oh, that too.
And smoke in the city, like if it keeps all these fires, like,
yes,
you don't want that.
Definitely. So what's been the reception to your music so far? Like what kind of feedback have you heard from your fans and your friends and family?
Really positive. I'm just always so shocked by how nice people are and how much, I guess because I write all these songs like in my bedroom and with friends, and just most of the time they're quite personal. So I'm touched when people connect with them, and a lot of the time in different ways to what I'd expect, or to what, like, they have a different spin on it. And I'm often just like, touched by how much people resonate with something that I guess I thought was so personal to me, but also something that I put a lot of effort into, I guess. It's awesome.
That's cool. So you feel like it must like sort of transcend things for people. Everyone can relate to something. And
I hope so.
Give their own interpretation.
I think that's the goal, right? Like try to write something that's personal but not unrelatable.
Yeah. Sure. That's a good way to go about it. Now your stage name is BERLYN. Got to ask about that. Where does it come from?
So it's actually my last name.
No kidding.
So I just outed myself, but yes. It's just my last name.
How did you choose, first of all, to go by that instead of Sophia, obviously?
Well, I guess I used to go by Sophia BERLYN, which is obviously just my name. And I don't know, I didn't feel like that was as much of an artist name. I didn't feel like I wanted to create something that, well, not that I could like hide behind, but something that like
a unique
like build something that I feel like this is now, like, for lack of a better word, a brand, or like like it's an artist, less so just like me in my bedroom.
Yeah, you as an artist.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it creates like a persona, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what's the origin of that, by the way? Because we did talk about it a little bit before.
We did talk about this. I think I have recently discovered that I think I have Dutch heritage, and apparently because it's spelled, because obviously everyone's like, oh my God, is that German? Are you German?
Yes,
and
first thought, obviously.
Yeah, and no, because it's spelt slightly differently. So apparently it might be Dutch way back when, I think.
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to know, obviously.
Like, I'll take it. I think the Dutch culture is sick. So,
yeah,
I mean, I'll take it.
No doubt.
It's true.
Speaking of your whole identity as an artist, where do you sort of want to be in the next coming years in terms of your career?
I would just love to be able to collaborate with just artists in the Australian scene, and just... I think my ultimate goal would just be to play a festival, even if it was just like one of the opening slots or something.
That's awesome, like, either way.
Yeah, I would just love cool. like that festival vibe. Like I've had so many experiences, like I'm in the crowd and I'm seeing an artist and I'm just like, this is just something I will remember forever. And I would love to be able to create those memories, like both for myself, but for the people in the crowd as well. Right. I think like you connect in a different way at a festival.
I feel like you kind of belong there as well. Like I can really easily picture you at a festival.
Thank you so much. Cool. That means a lot.
So what have you got on at the moment?
So I just released a song a few weeks ago, which is the one I'll be playing next.
Nice.
And yeah, so I guess I've just been sort of doing a bit of promo for that. But I've actually got a few more songs in the bank that I recorded earlier this year. So it'll be planning the release for those, but also getting back into gigging again and everything, which I'm very keen for. I've had like a few little gigs, but keen for some band gigs, which I've got coming up. So that'll be good.
No doubt. Well, where can we find the songs that you have out at the moment?
So everywhere, just Spotify, Apple Music or iTunes, whatever it's called now. Just at like BERLYN. That's literally, you'll find it. I think there's actually a few other people called BERLYN on Spotify, and their songs have turned up on my page before, and they're completely different genres to me.
That's gonna be a bit weird.
It's so weird. Like one of them is this like country artist, and it's like her artist like album is like her lying on a car in a bed of roses, and people are like, so like your music's changed a bit. I'm like, it's not me. And then the other guy is some like rapper from Nigeria or
there's no way. I mean,
so it's like both extremes.
Yeah, very extreme.
But yeah, it's BERLYN.
That's cool. So by the way, I got to say, thanks so much for coming to this show today. It's so awesome to have you on.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. So what about this next song? Can you explain that a bit for us?
Yeah. So Late Night Call is one of the fun songs that I wrote that really came out in like an hour, and it's just always been so fun to play with my band. And it's basically like, long story short, it's basically about a booty call. But no, it's like about sort of, at the start of a relationship, you just met someone, you don't really know where it's going, you probably didn't expect it to go anywhere, but starting to, and you're like, what's the go? What am I doing here?
It's cool. It sounds very like raw and messy at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, we're all a bit of a mess, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's just capturing that a little bit.
I can't concentrate when I know that you might call my phone. And it might not come to much, but hey, it's better than being alone. And I can't see straight right now, but that's part of the fun. And it's a game we play called Am I Flirty or Drunk? So call me at 11:30 so I know what you want. And don't hang up till I've figured out that you might want more. Well, maybe I'm drunk, maybe I'm bored, but you're looking straight at me, I'm sure. And you'd like those other girls, but not like you'd like me. And if I could read our future, I know that we would become more than just a few drinks and mutual friends and a late night call. And walking back beside you, you bumped into my arm. And we're acting like teenagers and acting like there's no harm in staying out this late in this fucked up state. Oh hey, I like you, but this is not a date. Just the two of us getting along, getting on home and seeing where the night goes. Well, don't call me too early when I get home tomorrow, 'cause I like you better if you don't let me know. Well, maybe I'm drunk and maybe I'm bored, but you're looking straight at me, I'm sure. And you'd like those other girls, but not like you'd like me. And if I could read our future, I know that we would become more than just a few drinks and mutual friends and a late night call. And you can call me baby, I want you to know we could be more than a late night call. And you can call me baby, I want you to know we'll never be more than a late night call. No, and I'm not the fairy tale type, so keep your roses, don't keep me too close. And buy me a drink and we'll go. You may be nice, but you'll never